Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another NASCAR Heat 5 live stream with myself, Justin, and Elliott Henderson once again.
Yes, sir.
So today we are going to be covering a couple of topics, the first of which is we're going to be sort of previewing the Pocono weekend that we have going on, and we're going to be showing off the Sunoco Pre-Order Scheme, specifically the Cup Car Sunoco Pre-Order Scheme that we've got. So we've got a brief video here, so let's go ahead and have a quick look at that. It's just a short 3-lap race of myself driving around Pocono, so if you're going to criticize the driving, you can go ahead and direct that to me. That's my fault, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that now. So that was a look at the Cup Series Sunoco Pre-Order Scheme at Pocono. Again, that was driven by me. I apologize. I'm much better on a wheel than I am on controller. I think you would agree with me on that, though, Elliott. You're probably better on a wheel than you are on controller as well. But I don't want to distract too much because the focus really that we want to talk about, first of all, is that Sunoco scheme. So first of all, who designed that Sunoco scheme?
That was a very light way of saying that I did it. Yeah, so, part of what I did at 704 before I transitioned to a game design role was I was a graphic designer, and I've done a lot of the fictional type stuff. We've done some Matt Tiff stuff in the past as well. So I've been doing paint schemes for a while personally and then professionally. So this was just kind of something that came across the line. Sunoco wanted to be put in the game and have a kind of showcase, and I was like, well, we can put together a fictional scheme. We can get a driver in there and showcase your content pretty well. And I think this scheme came out pretty good, if I have to say so.
Yeah, certainly. I'm a fan of it. What was there? Was there any sort of inspiration? Was there any sort of like previous designs that you were drawing from, or was this just completely off the cuff, brand new?
It was more or less just kind of taking like the angles of the Sunoco logo and putting them onto the car. And then the kind of stripes or, point jagged edges, whatever you want to call them, are just kind of there, as kind of piece of the arrow almost. But yeah, it was just more or less the fact that the Sunoco logo is really interesting in itself, being the shape that it is. So, just taking inspiration from that and applying it to the car.
Is this something we can expect to see more of, or is this something that you'd like to do more of, or is this probably going to be like a one off?
I don't think we'll be doing too many fictional stuff schemes. We, like I said, we did stuff for like Matt Tift in the past, but it just doesn't really come across too often. We like to try to get people the real content, the real DLC that they want. So I don't really see us implementing too many fictional cars. I do think this would be a nice addition to something like the paint booth. I've already seen people ask if that's going to happen, so that may be something that we can put into the paint booth later on. But for now, I don't see us putting any more fictional stuff in.
Gotcha. And just moving on to Pocono, since obviously we've got that race coming up pretty soon. What's your opinion of Pocono? I've seen, obviously, because I got my eye on the community at all times. I've seen sort of mixed things from the community when it comes to Pocono. What are your thoughts on it?
I think any track that is as different as Pocono is to the regular cookie cutter tracks, it's a positive. I know a lot of people have said it's been kind of, not the best racing in the world, but it's a hard track to run double file at, like we're so used to at places like Chicagoland or Atlanta or something like that, where you see a lot of double file racing. Pocono is very one grooved. You're just running the bottom, trying to run the fastest line around. But it is a very slippery, slidey track with how flat, especially turn 3 is, and it's really fun to watch. So, I think just the fact that it's different than most of the other tracks makes it a very nice addition to the schedule. It kind of breaks up the cookie cutter type aspect of the D ovals that we go to a lot.
For sure. So that's our little chat about Sudoku and Pocono. I think we pretty much covered everything. Let's actually go ahead and jump into the questions from the community. So Elliott's going to be answering some of these. I'm going to be answering some of these. We don't have a ton of time, so we can't go through and answer absolutely every single thing we got. I was blown away with the number of questions that you guys sent in. I did try to go through and see if there were ones that were repeated or if there were ones that got a lot of likes because people wanted to hear about that. So the first one, actually, Elliott, this one's going to be for you. This is from IDK player. He was asking, due to the earlier release date, will we have more DLCs? Please say yes.
So I would say yes, but we're currently slotted to release in July, August, September, and October, which is similar to, I think we released 4 packs last year. Yes. It'll be the same kind of method with upwards of 40 cup cars. And some Xfinity and truck thrown in there. Truck will alternate. I think we'll release some trucks in August and then some in October, but not July or September like we've done, like the past DLC has worked. So we'll alternate months there.
Gotcha. So pretty much the same sort of thing as NASCAR Heat 4 in terms of the release schedule, but just brought forward, just because of the release being brought forward as well too.
Correct.
And then also Raw Gator was asking, and can there be a YouTuber DLC? I'm gonna go ahead and answer that one. The answer is I'm not sure just yet, but that is something that I have been personally pushing for. Raw Gator, just so you know. Certainly, I would like to involve YouTubers, influencers, streamers, content creators, all of those kinds of people. You can see obviously that we're involving the esports drivers in this game. So you can see the esports drivers are in there this year, which is great. We're thrilled to be including them. But yes, I would like to get more of the influencers and YouTubers and stuff involved as well. At the moment, nothing I can tell you right away, but certainly that's something that we can push for in the future. And then we've got a question from Matthew Heel, actually, one of the esports drivers. In fact, did I just see him? Yep, there he is. Now we can look at Matthew's face while we read his question out. Will we get 144 hertz for the PC version, Elliott?
So the game currently runs at 60 hertz. It's something we're looking into. There's a little bit more going on in the back end that we're trying to work around to allow for upwards of 144 hertz. It's not going to happen by the ship date, but it's something that we are going to try to get into a DLC patch, hopefully between August or September.
And it's certainly something that we're looking into for the future, obviously. But yeah, for that, that's Heat 5 specifically that Elliot is talking about. Next
Yes.
question. This is another one for you, Elliot. This comes from Windvow. Haw Yi. Fu Manchu facial hair option for our career driver. Is that going to happen?
Yes, sorry, bud. We did not happen to get far enough to facial hair differences. So no, Fu Manchu. Apologies. We'll definitely look into that for future titles. Maybe DLC. I don't know, but we're gonna look into that for you for sure.
Another one from Raw Gator, actually. He was also asking, will Season 2 of the NASCAR Heat Pro League, that's what we're in right now, just for those that are unfamiliar with the Pro League, that's what we're in now, the 2020 season, will that finish on Heat 5? The answer to that is, can't say just yet. We'll have information about that. We'll let you know in the future what's going to be going on with that. But yeah, for the meantime, for right now, it's going to continue on NASCAR Heat 4. But certainly we will update you on social media and all that kind of stuff. Next one is for Elliot again. This one comes in from the Super Squad. How many more new templates will be added for the paint booth?
So we don't have any new ones on disc, but we are hoping to add at least 1 or 2 to every DLC pack. So it could be upwards of about 8 to 10 there by the time it's all said and done. So nothing new on disc, but we plan to add them as we go to DLC, and it'll be free content updates that'll just be added in.
Got it. And the next one, this one was for me. When will the rosters be released? That was actually asked by All American Racing League and a few other people as well too. We'll release the rosters very soon. I think we've kind of already touched on it though. Who was the one driver that was missing for launch day, Elliot?
We're working on getting BJ McLeod in, and then we're also still talking to Rick Ware Racing about their other 2 drivers. We have Joey Gase in, I think, the 51, but I think we're missing the 52 and 53. So we're currently working on Rick Ware Racing as well.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, it's everybody else except for those that we've kind of already talked about. But yes, we'll go ahead, we'll release either like a video where we scroll through all of them, or I mean, I guess we could just scroll through on one of these streams one day. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. But next one is for Elliot. This one comes from Elite Precision 29. And will a draft effect slider be added to the to online in a patch? You can adjust the draft effect for offline, but not online. And in my opinion, I think it's more needed for online.
So that's something that we're actually looking into. I don't know that it'll just be like a general approach. If anything, it'll be for more hosted or private lobbies. But it is something that we're looking at that we would like to try to add in because, yeah, obviously there's a lot of discrepancies with that, and the draft is kind of I wouldn't say it's exaggerated, but it is pretty heavy to where, it takes a little bit away from the setups. So if you can remove the draft, it becomes more setup focused. So it's something that we're looking into. It's not something that will be on the release game, but it could be something that we'll add in through DLC.
And then we got a question from Brett. This is another one for you, Elliot. DNFs, how do they work for the player, and what modes is it in?
So the DNFs it's specific to career mode. It will work, as a DNF would in real life, kind of. As soon as you DNF, the game will ultimately end up going to a DNF or results type screen and showcase the fact that you have, in fact, not finished the event, and you'll be able to proceed back to the career menu screen and go to the next race.
And then I'll take care of this one. Victor Santiago Jr. asks, any plans for a future NASCAR Heat for the next-gen consoles? Short answer to that is yes. This is the last game on this generation of consoles. So after this, it'll be on the next generation, the PS5, whatever the new Xbox is called, the Series X, whatever its difficult name to remember is. We will be looking forward to the future after NASCAR Heat 5. Last one for you, Elliot. This is a rather easy one, actually. Is Landon Cassill or Morgan Shepherd driving the 89 in Xfinity for NASCAR Heat 5? That comes from Justin Thomas.
It will be Landon Cassill. No Morgan Shepherd in the game this year, which I feel like a lot of people are actually going to be upset about that. And I kind of, I was a little upset when I saw that too. But they will have Landon Cassill piloting the 89 car this year in NASCAR Heat 5.
Awesome. And then I guess if there's anything else you wanted to talk about, I'm going to quickly, the last question came in from Charlie Irwin. who actually asked if we could show off the truck and Xfinity schemes on the stream today, which I'm going to go ahead and go through now. I kind of already started on the cup ones. I don't think I quite got to all of them, but I'm just quickly scrolling through all of the Xfinity schemes now. Anything else you wanted to add in at the end here? We got another minute or so to fill here, Elliot. Any predictions for this weekend, for example?
Not much on the content side. I think going through all these guys will be enough for you're pretty much spoiling the roster reveal, but yeah, you've got enough here. I think from a Pocono side, the biggest thing is just knowing that the Gibbs cars have been super fast there over the past few years. I think they've won the last 4 or 5 races. Blaney's won the one before that, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone can end up beating any of those cars, because Toyotas have been pretty fast at the Tricky Triangle.
They have indeed. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. That is everything. That's all we have time for today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And again, make sure you follow if you're not already following, because we are going to continue to do these. We're going to be, it's kind of short announcement. I do know we don't have like a set schedule or anything like that. So make sure you guys follow to make sure you get notified about when we're going live. But of course, these streams are going to be going up on our YouTube, Facebook pages as well too. So make sure you follow us over there, just in case if you ever miss a stream in the future. Thanks, Elliot, for joining me.
Yep.
And thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you next time. Bye-bye. Have a good one.